Hello, I'm Gerald, the CEO of Steambow, and I'm very happy to introduce our new carbon fiber arrow lineup to you. Our carbon fiber arrows are the same application types that we have with our aluminum arrows. We do color codings on them, so we have blue to symbolize target shooting. They are direct add-on to our target arrows that we have in aluminum. We have our bodkin arrows, which are color-coded black, and we have our broadhead hunting arrows with a red color marking. Before I go into details about our new carbon fiber arrows, I want to talk a little bit about history. When we designed our Stinger I crossbow, it was in the year 2018, there was little arrow availability on the market. Those arrows that were available were of poor quality and generally just bad arrows. For example, we had these ones, though they're very flexible and bendy, made from plastic, soft, absolutely inaccurate. You can't hit the broadside of a barn with it, and they just don't work, I would say, reliable in the Stinger. You have a lot of dry fires with them, a lot of malfunctions. They just don't work. Then we had those hybrid arrows. They are still on the market, consisting of a plastic back, aluminum shaft in this brass color, and a screwed in tip. There were some versions available with just a glued in tip. Also those, although they are made much better than the other ones, they are not suitable for the Stinger crossbow, because when the arrow hits something hard or just a target, the back part can get bent out of shape, and then you have a dry fire when the string goes over or under the arrow, and that's very bad for the limbs and for the whole crossbow. So those don't work either. And then we had the arrows that were supplied standard with the Cobra pistol crossbow that we used as the basis for our Stinger I. And although we liked those arrows because they work, we were never happy with the quality. It's just here stamped with a punch on three parts. The tip is loose and you can wiggle it around. And the arrow shaft was very thin and very easy to damage it. And we're just not happy with the overall quality of the arrows, especially regarding broadhead arrows. What we found on the market regarding broadhead arrows for pistol crossbows was appalling. They just didn't fly straight. Yeah? After a few meters, they veered off in any direction, and it was completely impossible to hit with them. They didn't work. So our first step was to develop a very good and reliable broadhead arrow. We did that in the year 2019 with our Stinger I broadhead arrow. It is the same design, so you have here three punches that hold the tip in place, aluminum shaft, plastic rubber vanes, plastic knock, but it flew straight and it worked. Our first step was then to improve the quality of our arrows. We took a stronger aluminum shaft, we took a CNC machine tip, we glued everything together so that you have a very sturdy and dependable design. If those arrows are undamaged, they fly exceptionally well. We managed to get the weight difference between those arrows down to about 0.1 grams of difference. So awesome weight tolerances, just awesome arrows, worked flawlessly. As long as we were in the lower power levels that we had with the Stinger I. We also introduced the broadhead bodkin arrow to the market with a hardened tool steel tip. It is designed for penetration of harder objects, for example sheet metal or glass or something like that, and they are designed for jurisdictions, for countries where broadhead arrows are not legal, for example the Netherlands. We also took our broadhead arrow to the next level, so to speak. We glued in the tip instead of using the unreliable punching method. We changed our vane contour to fit our new design, and those arrows are now in production for, I guess, 2 years, and very reliable, very good reputation on them. They work flawless. I'm using past tense because we have now 90-pound slims. We work on a 120-pound slim for the Stinger II, and very promising results, by the way. And when you use those power levels, the aluminum arrows get to the end of their capabilities. When you hit a target, even if it is something soft like our target mat, it can be, especially if you have trigger mistake and the arrow comes with a slight sideways drift, then the arrow shaft can get bended out of shape. Sometimes so slightly that you can't even see that with your eye, and even a slightly out of shape arrow isn't flying true anymore. So you can get top performance, top accuracy out of a stinger only with new arrows or arrows that are completely undamaged. And especially with the 90 and stronger limbs, it's very easy that those arrows get bent. The market reacted by offering carbon fiber arrows. There are a lot out there, and we decided to also offer such a assortment. Whoever knows Steambow knows that we like to innovate, that we don't like to copy something, we want to add to it, and our lineup, we're very proud of it, I would say is easily the best pistol crossbow arrows that you can get on the market at the moment. We decided for a screwed design. So we have threads, everything is screwed together. We have a tip CNC machined with a thread on it. We have our color coding ring made from blue anodized aluminum. We have a carbon shaft and we have an aluminum shaft inside of the carbon shaft. So it's actually a hybrid arrow, aluminum carbon hybrid arrow. We have the same design on our bodkins, although of course with a little bit different components. So we have our top part CNC machined. We have the color coded ring, in this case black anodizing, symbolizing bodkin arrows. We have a stainless steel sleeve, and we have the same hybrid shaft construction we have on the target arrows. On the hunting arrows, this design is the same, but here I can't show it to you because this arrow is glued together. We need it on the hunting arrows because the orientation of the blade and the vanes must be perfect. Speaking of everything glued together, we decided, although our components are all completely disassembleable, we decided to offer the arrows completely with thread locks, completely glued together. So when you get the arrows, they are working perfectly out of the box, but you will not be able to disassemble it into the components as easily as I did here in the video. Because when we tested the arrow a lot of times, we found out that you really have to maintain those arrows if they are just screwed together. So when you hit the target, when you take it out of the target, you need to make it a habit to check if still everything is screwed together. I mean, that's a good habit to have. Take a look, inspect the vanes if they are still there and working. Inspect the shaft if this is broken or out of shape. So making one quick glance at the arrows before you put them into your quiver is actually good practice. But we found out that on a stinger where you shoot a lot of arrows, that sometimes you can forget about that, and when the arrows become loose, accuracy suffers, and if they are too loose and you shoot them into a target, it could be that the arrow disintegrates and gets destroyed in the process. So we decided to save you a lot of hassle. We took the extra step and thread locked everything together, but this need not to stay this way. So we want your feedback, we want your take on it. What do you think? Should we keep it glued together, maintenance free and ready to go, or should we offer flexibility, offer the components without any thread locker and keep it flexible this way? Because this also has some advantages. In this case, for example, if you have many damaged arrows, you can mix match them and perhaps get 3 or 4 good ones out of it. You can also do that with the glued in ones, but it's much more work. You have to heat it up to get the thread locking out of the threads, so it's much more work. Last but not least, I want to give you some more technical information about our arrows. Let's start with overall length. They are 160 millimeters in length, like all of our arrows, and they have an outer diameter of 6.2 millimeters. So if you have a different crossbow, not a stinger at home, make sure that the arrows fit into that. We can only guarantee flawless function in our own products, of course. The arrows itself, usually we have with the aluminum target arrows a weight of about 142 grains. We found out this is a little bit too little weight for the stronger bows, especially for the 90 and above. This is too little arrow weight, so you have a little bit of a dry fire every time you shoot those 2 light arrows. We stepped up the weight to 162 grains or 10.5 grams. Those arrows are usable on all our limb weights, on all our limb power settings. And whoever is into target shooting will really love those arrows. They are very accurate, very sturdy. You will get a lot of mileage out of those. Regarding our bodkin lineup, we had 162 grains here on the bodkin already, so they were always the heavier ones and always usable for all our limb strength. And we upped that to 15 grams or 231 grains, so almost 50% more weight, which leads to a lot of penetration power, devastating performance, especially on closer ranges to up to 25-30 meters. With the hunting broadheads we did the same. So our lightweight aluminum ones have about 154 grains. This is with 239 grains, almost 50% heavier, so also 10 grams, 15 grams. Same goes here. Devastating performance, much more penetration, especially if you shoot those arrows at shorter distances or with our stronger limbs. We wish you much fun and success with our arrows, and we're looking forward to your feedback regarding how we should present them to the market in future. As I told you, first initial shipments will be glued together, but the components you can see here. Thank you very much. As always, you can find all our information also on the homepage and on our social media, and I wish you good day.